Your dad just got blown up by Israel and the United States. Your mom is dead. Your wife is dead. Your sister is dead. And somehow, you're about to become the most powerful man in Iran. Congratulations. Welcome to the worst job on the planet. This is the story of Mojtaba Khamenei, a man who spent his entire life hiding in the shadows, pulling strings, rigging elections, and stacking billions in offshore accounts. And now, the spotlight just found him, at the absolute worst possible time. Let's go back to the beginning, because this guy's life is wild. You're born in 1969 in Mashhad, Iran. Your dad is Ali Khamenei. At this point, he's not the supreme leader, he's just a young revolutionary cleric who keeps getting arrested by the Shah's secret police, the Savak. These guys are basically Iran's version of the Gestapo, and they love showing up at your house. One night, the Savak breaks in and beats the absolute shit out of your father. You're asleep. When you wake up, the agents tell you your dad went on vacation. Your dad, bleeding and bruised, stops them and says, "No, tell my sons the truth." Fun childhood. But then 1979 happens, the Islamic Revolution. The Shah gets overthrown. Ayatollah Khamenei takes power. And your dad? He goes from wanted criminal to deputy defense minister overnight. Your family moves from Mashhad to Tehran. You go from hiding from the secret police to attending Alavi High School, the school where Iran's elites send their kids. Future foreign ministers, future parliament speakers, future people who will one day run the entire country. And you're the quiet one, the one nobody really notices. Your older brother Mustafa gets more attention. But you're watching, you're learning, and you're making friends with boys who will grow up to run the Revolutionary Guard. You graduate in 1987 and immediately go to war, the Iran-Iraq War. You join the Habib Battalion of the IRGC, the Revolutionary Guard. You're 18 years old, fighting in one of the bloodiest conflicts since World War II. 1 million people die in this war. Chemical weapons, trench warfare, human wave attacks. And here's the thing, you go missing at one point. You and a bunch of other official sons just vanish during the battle for Meran. Everyone thinks you're dead, but you show up again later. Nobody explains where you were or what happened. Very normal behavior. But more importantly, in the Habib Battalion, you're making connections that will define the rest of your life. Your war buddies? Hossein Tayyab, future head of IRGC intelligence. Hossein Najat, future commander of IRGC headquarters. These aren't just army friends. This is a network, and you're building it at 18. Imagine your high school friend group, but everyone becomes the head of a spy agency. That's Mojtaba's friend group. Then 1989 happens. Khamenei dies, and your dad, Ali Khamenei, becomes the new supreme leader of Iran. You're 20 years old, and your father is now the most powerful person in the country. Actually, scratch that. One of the most powerful people on Earth. He controls the military, the judiciary, the intelligence services, the nuclear program, everything. So what do you do with this unbelievable upgrade in family status? Do you go public, run for office, give speeches? No, you do the opposite. You disappear into the seminary in Qom. You start studying theology. You become a cleric. And you stay so far out of the public eye that most Iranians have literally never heard your voice. But behind the scenes? Oh, behind the scenes, you are busy. You take control of your father's office, the office of the supreme leader. This is the real power center of Iran, not the parliament, not the president's office, the supreme leader's office. And you become its gatekeeper. Nobody gets to your father without going through you. You decide who he meets, what information he sees, what decisions get made. You're basically the secretary from hell, except the boss has nuclear weapons. Then 2009 hits, the Green Movement. Iranians take to the streets after Mahmoud Ahmadinejad wins a presidential election that everyone knows was rigged. Millions of people protesting, the biggest challenge to the regime since the revolution itself. And who does the reformist camp blame for rigging it? Not your dad, not Ahmadinejad. They blame you, Mojtaba Khamenei. Mehdi Karoubi, one of the reformist candidates, writes an open letter accusing you of personally conspiring to rig the election. He says you ran a network that fixed the results. You never respond. You never even acknowledge it publicly. But here's the really dark part. When the protests need to be crushed, you're the one who takes charge of the Basij, the paramilitary thugs who beat, torture, and kill protesters in the streets. Motorcycle gangs rolling through Tehran cracking heads, secret prisons, people disappearing. And you do all this without anyone ever seeing your face on camera or hearing you give a single public statement. Ghost mode. For 20 years. Meanwhile, the money. Oh, the money is insane. Bloomberg does a year-long investigation and finds out you've been running an offshore financial empire. We're talking luxury real estate in London, on the Bishop's Avenue, one of the most expensive streets in the world. Properties in Dubai, shipping companies, hotels in Germany, banking connections across multiple countries, billions of dollars routed through shell companies and frontmen. And none of it is in your name. None of it. You use a network of intermediaries. One guy in particular, Ali Ansari, an Iranian businessman who the UK later sanctions. Everything is layered through shell companies in different countries. It's like a Russian nesting doll of corruption. For context, your dad's entire public image is built on being a humble cleric who lives simply and serves God. Meanwhile, his son has a property portfolio that would make a Dubai real estate agent blush. Then, January 2026, the biggest protest Iran has ever seen. The economy collapses. The rial is worthless. Food prices explode. Millions of Iranians flood the streets in over 100 cities chanting, "Death to Khamenei." And your father does what he's always done. He orders the IRGC and Basij to open fire. They massacre thousands. Some estimates say up to 32,000 people killed. And then your father, the man who crushed every protest, survived every assassination attempt, held Iran together through sanctions and wars for 36 years, agrees to a meeting at his compound in Tehran on February 28th. The CIA has been watching. They know exactly where he'll be. They tell Israel. February 28th, 9:45 a.m. Tehran time, Saturday morning. Israeli jets drop 30 bombs on your father's compound. 30. The building doesn't just get hit, it gets deleted from existence. Your father, dead. Your mother, she dies from her injuries 2 days later. Your wife, Zara, dead. Your sister, dead. Your brother-in-law, dead. Ali Shamkhani, top security official, dead. The defense minister, dead. The IRGC commander, dead. 40 officials killed in the first wave. And you weren't there. You survived, because of course you did. The Shadow Man wasn't at the meeting. So now, right now, as bombs are still falling on Iran, as 1,045 people are dead, as the Navy is destroyed, the Air Force is gone, the radar systems are wiped out, as 150 tankers sit frozen in the Strait of Hormuz, as Hezbollah fires from Lebanon, as the entire Middle East is on fire, as Trump literally says on camera, "I want to pick Iran's next leader," the IRGC, your old war buddies from the Habib Battalion, the guys you've been building relationships with since you were 18, they start calling the Assembly of Experts. They pressure them. In-person meetings, phone calls. They want you as the next supreme leader. 8 members of the Assembly say they'll boycott the vote. They don't want a dynasty. The Islamic Republic was literally founded by overthrowing a monarchy, and now you're about to create a father-to-son succession? The irony is so thick you could cut it with a knife. But the IRGC doesn't care about irony. They care about control, and you're their guy. And here's your problem list. Just a small overview of what's on your desk on day 1. 1. The United States and Israel are still bombing you. Day 7. They're not stopping. Defense Secretary Hegseth literally said they're accelerating, not decelerating. B-2 bombers are dropping bunker busters on everything you have. Israeli F-35 shot down one of your fighter jets over Tehran. The first F-35 air-to-air kill in history, by the way. Congrats on being that footnote. 2. Your Navy is basically gone. The US has sunk over 20 of your ships, including the Iris Dena, a full warship, torpedoed by a US submarine off Sri Lanka. That's 1,000 miles from Iran. You can't even keep your ship safe in the Indian Ocean. 3. A girls' school in southern Iran got hit by a strike. 165 girls and staff killed. A girls' school. Iran says it was a US-Israeli strike. The US says it doesn't target civilians. Either way, those images are everywhere, and they are devastating for everyone involved. 4. The Strait of Hormuz. The IRGC officially closed it. 20% of the world's oil supply. No ships moving, oil prices are through the roof, and every country on Earth that depends on Gulf oil, China, India, Japan, South Korea, is screaming. 5. And this is the really fun one. Half your country is celebrating your dad's death. People dancing in the streets, fireworks, honking horns, toppling statues, and the other half is in mourning, dressed in black. Your nation is literally split in half, and you're supposed to unite them? 6. Trump. Donald Trump is on television saying, and this is a real thing that happened, that he wants to choose who leads Iran next. He called you unacceptable. He compared this to replacing Maduro in Venezuela. He literally said, we're going to have to choose that person along with Iran. Imagine being 56 years old, your entire family just got killed, and some guy in Washington is on TV saying you're not good enough for the job of leading your own country. That's where you are right now. 7. Israel just bombed the Assembly of Experts while they were meeting to elect you. The actual body that's supposed to choose the next supreme leader got bombed while they were in session. You can't make this stuff up. 8. The Kurdish armed groups in northwest Iran have launched a ground offensive. The US is reportedly asking Iraqi Kurds to join in. So it's not just airstrikes anymore. There are boots on the ground, just not American ones. 9. Azerbaijan just got hit by Iranian drones. So the war is now spreading beyond the Middle East. You're not just fighting the US and Israel anymore. You're making new enemies by the hour. 10. Spain told the US it can't use Spanish air bases to bomb you. Trump's response? He threatened to cut off all trade with Spain. So your war is now causing diplomatic chaos between allies on the other side of the planet. And 11. Your religious credentials are mid, at best. You're a Hojado Leslam. That's a mid-level cleric. The supreme leader is supposed to be an Ayatollah, a top-level religious authority. You haven't given a single public lecture. You haven't delivered a Friday sermon. You haven't given a political address. Most Iranians have never even heard your voice, and you want to be the supreme leader? Your dad wasn't an Ayatollah either when he got the job. They just changed the law. So maybe they'll change it again, because laws in Iran are more like suggestions, when you have enough tanks. So here's where you are, right now, March 2026. You spent 36 years hiding in your father's shadow, building a network of IRGC loyalists, rigging elections, crushing protests, stacking billions in offshore accounts that nobody can trace back to you. You controlled access to the most powerful man in Iran. You ran the Basij. You never gave a speech, never showed your face, never explained yourself to anyone. And now the curtain has been ripped away. Your father is dead. Your family is dead. Your country is being bombed into the Stone Age. Half the population wants you gone. Trump says you're unacceptable. The assembly that's supposed to elect you is getting bombed. And your old army buddies are calling in every favor to put you on a throne that might not exist by the end of the month. The Daily Telegraph predicts you'll view America as an implacable enemy and escalate the conflict. Not negotiate, not de-escalate, escalate. Trump has given Iran a 4-week timetable. He says this won't be a forever war, but there's no plan for what comes after. No peacekeeping force, no rebuilding plan, just bombs and a suggestion that the Iranian people should take over your own government. And you, Mojtaba Khamenei, the the man who has never given a public speech in his life, are supposed to respond to all of this. Lead a nation. Fight a war against the two most powerful militaries on Earth. Hold together a regime that is cracking at every seam. And do it all while hiding in a bunker, because if you show your face for 5 minutes, an Israeli F-35 will put a missile through your window. Your dad's bunker was so deep, the elevator took 5 minutes to reach it. Yours better be deeper. So what happens next? Nobody knows. The Assembly of Experts hasn't officially elected you yet. The IRGC wants you. The reformists don't. Half the country is celebrating. The other half wants revenge. Trump is picking your replacement from Washington. China is sending a mediator. The Kurds are invading. The strait is closed. Oil is surging. And 1,045 Iranians are dead. You are Mojtaba Khamenei. You are 56 years old. You are possibly the next supreme leader of Iran. And you are having the worst week of any human being on planet Earth. Good luck with that. I'll keep covering this as it develops. Subscribe if you want to stay on this. Drop your take in the comments. Should this guy be the next supreme leader? Or is this dynasty about to end the same way it started? This is Sclint. And Mojtaba, if you're watching this in your bunker, hi.